Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is SRK round 10 at Daytona Milton Keynes, final round of the championship, and we're going into it with the championship lead. We're 5 points ahead of Ben Luff. So this whole event I came in with the attitude of just need to mathematically win it. We don't need to go and win every single heat. We can just go in, see what Ben does. Okay, if he finishes 7th, we finish 6th. That's like minimum. And go in with that goal across all my heats. Don't overdrive, don't make any silly mistakes. For this layout we're running the cliff drop and bus stop. You can see we're going to go left instead of down the hill into cliff drop, which was quite an awkward corner at the start of practice. You can see I'm getting it a little bit wrong, and then into bus stop instead of going down the railway straight. So again, getting a bit sideways, blocking the engine down. But this is only practice. We've got about 4 laps. I won't bother showing you the rest of it because I'm leading the group, so I just drive and nothing really happens. So we'll get straight on into Heat 1. Going into Heat 1 then, we're starting 9th on the grid with Seb Miller directly in front of us starting in 7th and Gino Frino starting in 6th on the right hand side of the grid. Lights go green and we're accelerating down. Right hand side of the grid doesn't get a good start at all, and by the time we exit turn 1 we're past the whole right hand side row. We go a bit deep into turn 2, which compromises our exit through turn 3. We have to have a massive lift mid-corner, but no more positions lost, no more positions gained for now. Seb Miller tries to give us a look over his shoulder. We try to attempt to work forward, he has none of it and he goes defensive straight away. We don't really get the exit we wanted because we sort of got tucked up behind him, and we're still trying to attempt to work with us. Doesn't go defensive again, and Sam Slater's now up our inside, which sort of unideal at the start of the race. Probably would have been better off covering that off and following Seb's line, which is a bit tighter than ours. We're going to tuck in behind Sam as we go into cliff drop for the first time. We get a little bit sideways on exit, sort of fighting the wheel, fighting the car, and then we go into bus stop and we just get a little bit bogged down on exit. You see they all start to pull away from us a little bit on exit. That could be car, that could just be my poor driving. Sam gets really sideways into the entry, gets a great run out. You see he's all the way up the inside of Seb before they even get to turn 9. And then on the brakes, Seb goes defensive. We try to get the switch back, but then Zach Swannell's up our inside. A little bit of contact on the exit, but no harm done. And he's really fighting Seb, trying to hang it around the outside, and he does so. Gets the exit, drives straight past him, and now we're going to try and go around the outside of Seb Miller into turn 1, all up on the curb, and then try and break around the outside again, still trying to make this outside line work, and in the end we do have to back out. And now we've got, who's this, Dylan Ferguson on our outside. The driver's gone deep, he's in the wall, and we can just get our head down and go forward and tuck straight back in. See, Zach Swannell's got past, I think it's Jake Holly up ahead of Seb, and we're going to tuck in and try and catch back up to this group of 3. We go through the carousel, quite a nice line. See, we're catching on the brakes into the hairpin quite a lot. Seb gives another look over his shoulder. Did think about a move down the inside, thought better of it. We're going to tuck straight back in on the exit, cliff drop, sort of lose a bit more again, but coming through the bus stop, sort of don't get the best of exit. Seb looks over his shoulder, doesn't defend, and we're just going to go up the inside, make the move, get the move done, and we're going to get our head down and get right after Jake Holly, which looks like is going to happen on this lap as we gain loads of time into the fast left-hander of turn 9. And loads on the brakes into turn 10 as he goes deep. A bit of side-side contact on the exit, he's up on the curb, which gives us the best drive out of the corner. We cover him off slightly going into the turn 11, and then we can just drive off and get after, I think it's Aaron Mitchell-Begley in 3rd. Now we're up into 4th, starting from 9th, so dream start to the day. But I'm going to jump forward a few laps once we catch up to Aaron. So we've caught up back to the top 3 after they've had a bit of squabble, and Aaron's dropped to 3rd, and we're going through the bus stop, and we're right on the lead 3. You see, does that look like he's about to go defensive there? Sam goes up the inside, and Aaron sort of follows him through, and I'm going to go for a move up the inside of Aaron, but he manages to hold it just enough. We couldn't replicate the move on Seb. Foot shows us the door, and Ross Sandwell comes through now, and we're going to try and follow Ross through at any opportunity if he can get the move done on Aaron. See, there's a bit of a wet patch on the inside of the corner there, so we have to take a bit of a wider line than usual into the corner. But you see Ross and Aaron and all of that have just, the minute the fighting's all gone, they've just dropped us like nothing. And I'm pretty sure we still got Seb Miller and that with us after that sort of mistake, trying to get through Aaron. We way too much curb into the chicane. You see Ross goes for a move up the inside, Aaron doesn't quite get it cleanly. And we try to look for a move up the inside, don't quite get it done. Ross goes a bit wide at the exit corner, but gets a great drive coming out because of it. Tell him to work together as he looks back. You see through carousel, he gets all up on the curb, bounces wide, we get a great run. We're going to go for the move down the inside, just completely lock up on the rears. Ross gets back at the inside, he gives us a nod forward, sort of like, come on, we need to work together. I stick my fingers up, sort of agree with him. And we push back on, sort of in this formation. We're in 5th now, Ross up to 4th. You see Aaron's getting dropped by the lead 2 at every corner. And me and Ross are just slowly reeling him back in. That's much better through the bus stop this time. See, we gain a little bit on Ross through the mid corner, but sort of similar exits. And once again, he's going to just be much neater than us through turn 9. And then into turn 10, he gets a bit deep, trying to avoid that wet patch. See, throws their back in frustration. And we were going to go for a move, but again, we're trying to work together because otherwise we're going to get stuck in at least 4th or 5th between the 2 of us. So lost a little bit of time to Ross again. He got a better drive than us out of turn 11, and the same with Aaron. But it's nice and neat through turn 5, or turn 4, sorry. You see Ross is basically already straight on the back Aaron as Aaron goes deep into turn 5. Ross rockets back up to him. We're going to give Ross a bump just to show that we are working together. Sorry, it was like a little bit late of a bump. And again, Ross could have gone for a move there. Oh, I could have gone for a move there, sorry. But yeah, thinking better of it once again. Would have been quite an audacious attempt. But Aaron really wide out, cliff drop again. Ross catching straight back up, and we're now on the back of him again. But I'm not sure if this is the final lap or not. I don't think it is. I think there's still one more to go at the end of this. You see Ross still just can't quite keep up with Aaron. Oh, and he contact. I accidentally pushed Ross through. He's trying to let Aaron back through, which allows us up the inside of Ross. Which this means this is the last lap. Yeah, this is the last lap, and right on the last lap we do get up to 4th. But Sam Slater did get a penalty at the start of the race for not leaving a kart's gap in between the car. He bumped Freddie Tocknell, who bumped into me. You can see probably if you rewind it to the start, you can see my head go back a little bit. But yeah, P4 on track, P3 after penalties, so great start to the day. Moving on into our second heat then, we're starting 6th on the grid this time on the outside, so a little bit of a disadvantage on the start. There we go, Green's an alright launch. See Mike Allen on our left gets a better launch than us, so we just managed to get across, tucking behind him, going into the chicane on the first lap. Sort of try and keep it nice and neat. Sort of a lot going on. We've got Mariega up our inside, so we try and just hold station, get a little bit of bump in from behind, really bog down the exit, start checking all over the place to make sure no one's going to come straight back up our inside. Turn 5, sorry. But all's well right now. We're going down into the carousel again, still tucked in behind Mike. Have a little look possibly up the inside of 7. No, nothing there. But you see there's a lot of squabbling going up in front. We can just about get a move on Mike. He has a bit of moment mid corner, so we go up the inside, bit of side contact, sort of a half move, didn't really fully commit, and that's where the contact came from. But we go into the bus stop, get an okay exit. We see Mike's right on our outside, so we have to go defensive into the second part of the bus stop, which then really compromises us on the exit. We get all up on the curb and on the grass, and he comes straight back through, so we have to tuck all the way back in again. Luckily nothing coming behind us, so we can just take our normal line. Mike goes a little bit sideways going into the corner, but still gets a really good exit. And yeah, that one sort of, what's that, we stayed in 6th, I think. Yeah, we didn't gain or lose, but we're going to jump forward now to the end of this lap. Same lap that we just started now. See, we're all still together. Mike and Aaron Bull go side by side into the bus stop. Mike lifts off, tries to get the switch back. Does so as Aaron does what we did on lap 1, gets all over the curb, but he gets a little bit held up in mid corner, he backs out. We go around the outside of Mike and then Aaron into the same corner, double move around the outside. Couldn't have been happier with that move, but also was scared shitless, think I've got it completely wrong if I'm going to be brutally honest. But we go forward now, head down, and we're just going to try and push our way forward. But now we've got Alex McCutcheon behind us as we get all up on the curb of the exit of turn 1, deep into turn 2, just getting it all wrong. So we have a look over his shoulder, and there's Alex McCutcheon, go defensive into turn 4, and again get it all wrong, bogging down on the exit. He's still there, so we go defensive again into turn 5. See if we can get a good exit this time. We get an alright exit, have a look over our shoulder, can't see him, go a little bit defensive just in case, cover him off, go a little bit tighter into the carousel as well. We go defensive into the uphill left-hander of turn 7, getting really sideways mid-corner, and getting a bit on the rumble strip on the exit as well. We go take our normal line into the cliff drop section, really clatter the inside barrier as we come through the exit. We're going into the entry of the bus stop, and we're getting really sideways again, so we have a bit of a moment at the later part of the apex, defensive again into the bus stop, and hit the bit of the barrier again, get a bit wide. We go defensive into turn 9 on the international layout, and again into turn 10. See Alex's shadow on the left hand side, he's right there, he's there again, so we go defensive into the final corner, but we just go a little bit deep, and we allow Alex to get a switch back up our own side. We're going to try and fight this around turn 1. We go light and slightly ahead, a bit of side-side contact, just about hold it, but Alex gets the move done. You see as he just slowly pulls away through the corners. We go into turn 4, and on the exit he gives us a little tap on the side of the head to sort of tell him, come on, work together, let's think about this. And that was it, to be honest. We jumped forward, and yeah, we stayed as we were. We finished in 5th in the end, so 6th to 5th, so that's a 3rd and a 5th, so really great start to the day, and our last starting position is 20th in heat 3.
Going into heat 3, as I mentioned, starting 20th on the grid, we've got a massive gap as the pack bunched up loads on the rolling start and then really quickly fell away. We go and make one move off the start, and we go try to go around the outside of everyone into the chicane. See, we only really get one move done there, and we're going to sort of hold them narrow, and we're going to go back to the outside, so all gets a bit bunched up. We do make 2 places up off the start, and we're going to try and follow this driver through on the right. You see someone, Callum House, fires one around the outside, and it really works for him. We go try and get straight back up the inside into the carousel, but the driver in front brakes really early, and we sort of make contact with Callum. We're all up on the curb. We tried to get something, but it was just sort of fenced in. We do get up the inside, going into the cliff drop section. Off the driver on our right hand side, now we're going to follow Callum House down through cliff drop. You see the BSR boys of Gabe Quinter and Ben Frankham are fighting quite hard, and our teammate Charlie Davis hits Gabe Quinter, and it all sort of piles back up towards us. We're going to go defensive into the bus stop. We try and get a good exit, but it sort of all snarls up again. We get stuck, and Callum House is now going defensive from the start and gets a bit sideways mid-corner, tries to look for a move on Charlie, doesn't happen. And he turns us and goes defensive again right off the race start, just not helping our progress at all, but we do get the switch back. We do get alongside by the time we turn in for turn 1. We do get our elbows out, force them out wide a little bit, not too far, not into the barriers. We tell them to work with us to go forward, so we get a good run through the chicane. Gabe Quinter slow, we go up straight up the inside, a bit harsh, bit deep, but we make it work either way. And now we're going to set our sights on Dylan Ferguson and Ben Frankham up ahead of us. But for now, it's just getting our head down, not focusing too much on what's behind us, just trying to really close up. You see we gain quite a lot through the carousel, probably about 3 or 4 car lengths, and even more into the hairpin of turn 7. And now we're right on the back of him. We're going to look for a move, possibly up into the cliff drop. No, think better of it. And we do try and get the better run out of the cliff drop section, but it's sort of equal as we go into the bus stop section. We get a little bit sideways mid-corner, we do get a good exit. Dylan goes defensive last second. I wasn't very happy about that at the time, so like sort of cut across me. But we are going to look again for a move into turn 9. Think better of it. We go around the outside, looking for the switchback. Goes deep. We do get the cutback. We don't get the cutback. Apparently, just didn't get the rotation at all. Thought I remember I did, but we do go into the final corner and try and get the run out of turn 11 into turn 1. We do get a bit of a better run. We look for a move up into turn 2 into chicane, make that stick. We go quite deep, but we try and make it work still. Going through turn 3, we look over our shoulder, we go defensive into turn 4. But now that's that move sealed. We tell him to work forward, he tucks in, and we go jumping forward
for now, until we catch up to the rest of the group, where we're up behind Matt Wild, Ben Frankham and Finney Williams, and we go straight up the inside of Matt Wild into turn 7. Bit of side-to-side contact, leaning on him a little bit, but moves fair. And then we go look for a move straight up the inside of Finney Williams, but again, not quite far enough alongside to make that work. Braking zone is sort of similar for everyone. You can't really brake any later than normal, otherwise you might go deep, might lock up the rears. We get a bad exit out of the bus stop because of that whole sequence of trying to make an extra move. But we do get a good run coming out of the bus stop section. We're looking at Matt again, saying to look, let's just go forward, let's work together and try and catch up and get as many more positions as we can. You see Finney Williams overslows a little bit, catches me off guard, and a lot of the rears a little bit have a bit of a moment on the edge of the corner. But for now we're going to get our head down once again. We look for a move up into turn 1 again, like we did on the last lap, and we make it work much cleaner than last time. And we're now catching straight back up to Gabriel Wyatt and Ben Frankham, and I think that's Aaron Mitchell-Begley up ahead of both of them. But I'm going to leave you with this next sequence of stuff with no voiceover, so just sit back and enjoy this battle between me and Ben Frankham. moving on into the final race of the day, we're starting 13th in the A final, and by this point we have fully wrapped up the championship. We are officially SRK, Challenger class champion for 2025. So for this race I was going out purely just to enjoy it. You can see off the race start we get a little bit side to side with this driver in the Golf suit. We tried to go all the way around the outside, but it doesn't really work. So we tuck him straight back in. You see Jacob McKeel is on our left hand side, just force him out a little bit, try to keep our position as best we can. And we're going to keep our eyes forward from now, keep seeing if we can get this move done, as this is for third place in the Challenger class at the moment. So we're going to go up the inside in turn 7, but really overcook it on the brakes, get really sideways mid-corner, get a massive slide on. You see the driver just gets straight back up on the side. We tried to hold it, but he outbrakes us around the outside. Maintain position, bit of contact on the exit. And then we try to get the move back up the inside. Into the bus stop, you see we have to turn across him a bit because he's turning across us, which forces him to do a bit of a half spin. We go defensive into the bus stop, but we end up running over something on the inside and it pushes us all the way onto the grass and we lose the position straight away anyway. So we're tucking straight back in, we're going defensive to cover off anyone behind us who may now have a run on us. So we want to try and keep this position as best we can because we know we're quicker than this driver ahead at this stage. We want to maintain that position, but we're going to jump forward I think a couple laps where we're straight back on him again. He's made the same mistake we have on the first lap, on this lap, and now we've reeled him right back in again. And he's making a couple of mistakes on the exit there through the corner and goes defensive again, and we do get a great run out of the final corner. We look for a move into turn 1, just not fully alongside. Really we should have backed out, but at that point we had to keep our foot in and just hope. And we look for a move possibly into turn 4, and it's one of those where if I'd gone for it, probably the move would have been done, but yeah, just didn't have the confidence to like fully commit to the move, and you see it lost us out quite a lot of time. And now we're stuck again, still behind this driver, and still in 4th position in class with, I don't know what position we're in overall at this rate. I think we are 11th. You see we've got no dash on our steering wheel, so at this point I have no clue where I am. I think I'm P11 on the fringe of the top 10 of the A final, which would have been great. And, but no, for now I think we're in P11. We've made up 1 on Jacob McKeel, and that's it so far. See, get a great run coming out of the bus stop. We have to go around the outside again, which sort of compromises our run, and we then can't get moved up again. If we'd managed to get on the brakes a bit neater, might have been able to get a switch back out of the long straight, but once again tucked in behind. And this time we tried to get the run around the outside. Sort of had to think better of it, a little bit of a half lift to try and then get the move like we did on the driver in Heat 3 into the chicane, but we cut it off perfectly. And now we're still stuck behind this driver as we go into turn 4, and he's defensive once again. And same again into turn 5, just turning a little bit early just to warn us that he's not wanting us to come through there. But now we go back into the carousel, and we're still getting a good run, and we look again up the inside into turn 7, and we're fully there, but too much side-to-side contact really ruins our momentum, and he's able to hold it around the outside. You see he's really pushing us off to the left. He's not really giving us any inch of room, which I wasn't too happy with inside the helmet. I thought he was trying to drive me across into the barrier, which obviously isn't ideal. So we keep going forward. At this point I think Max Thorne from Rescue Dragon and Seb Miller from BSR have caught right up to the back of us, and it's now a 4-way fight for 10th place in the A final instead of it being a 2-horse race. So now it's sort of a bit more pressure's on. You see this is what we wanted to do the lap before when we get the switch back, but this time we just don't get the run. We're trying to force him narrow. You see Max Thorne, there he is, up the inside, and he starts pointing forward now, to telling us to work together. You see there's the finger, he wants us to just go forward and attack him, and again really iterating the point that he doesn't want me to fight him and just work with him. At this point I was more than happy to do that, not that I knew it was for class, but more that I was sick of being stuck in this position that I was, and I was happy to lose 1 to gain 1, if you get what I mean. But you see, initially we've sort of fallen away from the both of them for now, and we're like, I don't really know why. I don't know if it was from the run that I got at turn 4 and turn 5, where it just sort of wasn't the best, and they got really good exits and off they went. But for now we're just going to get our head down. You see we closed quite a lot on the brakes, both 2 Max and the driver ahead, you see we're now right back with him again. You see Max gets a nice good run out of the bus stop, manages to get side by side, points down to the inside. I don't know if he wanted me to fit, trying to stop me from filling the gap so he can get the switch back and try and get on the inside, which he doesn't really do. He does get a good run though, and again he's sort of telling me to push him, but we're nowhere near. I think he wanted me to follow him through in hindsight, and we could do now is similar to Heat 1 where we went up the inside of Ross Samwell. We just get it all wrong, we end up pushing Max Thorne forward, which then, as we tried to let him back through so we didn't get a penalty for ABC, we then lose the position again, lose the chance to overtake, this driver in the Golf suit, and now we're stuck once again back where we were, while Max Thorne can now drive away and see if he can catch up to anyone in the top 10, but I'm pretty sure this is the second to last lap of the day, where now we're very much just stuck, and we look again for another move down the inside, another half move, just really trying anything and everything at this point to make the move work, because we've won the championship. There's no risk if we make a mistake. At this point, it doesn't matter. There's no Ben Luff is not in the A final, he was in the B final, so we have definitely outscored him and maintained our advantage, and we don't need to stress at all. We can do whatever we please pretty much, as long as it's not anything stupid, and we could still win the championship. We had a little chat in between the C final and the junior B final. Me and Ben came over and congratulated me. We sort of shook hands and had a chat. You see Seb Miller goes up our inside now as we head on to the penultimate lap of the race. And at this point Seb's going defensive, but he has really no need to, we're a mile away. And this was the final lap of the day, and I think we're just going to go out and enjoy it as most we can. So we get a nice good run through turn 1 and through the chicane, but through turn 4, bogged down a little bit mid-corner, sort of don't get the best of exits, even though we did get a good entry. In turn 5 again, we get a little bit sideways, so you have to open the steering just to catch the slide, sorry. And it's quite a neat and tight lap so far. If this was a hot lap, I would quite happily be putting this on TikTok or whatever. I would be very happy with this lap. But obviously we're catching into traffic, and I'm sure by the end of the lap we're not in free area or able to push. I'd be right, as we're right on the back of Seb Miller now, who's going defensive into the bus stop entry. And we're sort of pushing him along a bit, quite a bit of loading. We're checking over the shot to make sure no one's there. But I'm pretty sure Tom Wiltshire is right behind us. We make a massive mistake. There he is. It's either Tom or James. But we just for now go defensive into the final corner just to wade him away from any mistake. We make a massive lock up and we do get switchback, but we managed to just about hold it on the inside. We give him a bit of a push out to the right just to cover it off, and then we go defensive and secure 13th in the A final, which I was very happy with. And yeah, here's a photo of me with my big trophy, and I just want to say thank you all for watching, and see you next year. And I will try and make the uploads a little bit more consistent. Hopefully I'll try and get every round out next year if we're allowed to use GoPros or cameras every circuit. But yeah, I'll try and make the content a lot more consistent so there isn't like 6 months gap in between each video. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a new year, and I'll see you all when the season restarts with Grid Series in January. Goodbye.